Hi guys, so today I'll be reviewing American Horror Story Apocalypse episode 5, which is titled Boy Wonder. In this episode, we actually started where the last one ended. We see Cordelia after she faints. She has a vision, which is kind of a grim one, where she sees herself surrounded by zombies, which actually kind of a reminder or like it's similar to the Walking Dead series. And she tried actually to use her powers, but she didn't, apparently she didn't have her powers or something like that, so she couldn't stop the zombies surrounding her from attacking her. We could see actually it's a very grim scene. We can see zombies basically started to eating her, and while she's screaming in pain, and we get to see her after we get to see her surrounded by all these zombies and being devoured by them, we see a white-faced demon laughing while she's being eaten. Of course, after that was her vision, she wakes up and she finds Madison and Queenie back, alive, of course. And after that, she goes and warns everyone about her vision and what she saw, about a horrible, horrible future, and that to able to prevent this future from happening, they need to listen to her. Of course, she asks Langdon if he really want to go with the test, with the Seven Wonders test. And of course, that's what he's waiting for. He accepts. He says, yes, I will do it. I'll do. Um, and after that, they go back to the Coven house, and we see Myrtle tries to persuade Cordelia out of this, out of the deal, because it never actually happened that a male warlock can actually beat a female, a witch, and become a supreme. It never happened because, of course, due to their biological system, the hormones, they can just basically they can't be more powerful than the witches. Never happened, and it will never happen because it's practically impossible. And actually, she tells her that like maybe one of them, and of course Cordelia tells her that there's no time and she's actually started to lose her power and she is dying. Apparently, if a supreme starts losing her power, it means she's dying. It means, and I think it means also there's another supreme coming. But of course it's not Michael. Michael's not even a warlock. I don't know why they keep referring to him as a warlock. I don't know about actually the warlock masters. I don't know what they saw in Michael, but it's very, very obvious that he's not a warlock. But still, they're insisting, maybe just because, they want to have like a male who will outpower the witches, I think. And in the next scene, we can see actually John Henry Moore, he's the only one who's doing, or he thinks in a sense way, he has, you know, he can see Michael for what he is, and he always expecting him. And he apparently, when they were doing this ritual before the Seven Wonders, he actually saw the white-faced demon as Michael. So of course he panicked and he started packing his things. And while he's heading out, behold, Chapless comes and tells him what you're doing. Of course, try to prevent him from leaving, but of course, John Marnie, you know, he's actually more powerful than Chapless. Just stick him to the wall, throw him through the wall, or fix him through the wall actually. And after that, the scene that I don't really like comes next. You can see John Henry goes by his car, apparently Cordelia. I don't know why he can't use. I don't know why he does not warlock and witches have this kind of spell that they actually can, space jump or something. They can do space jump. Warlock and witches should have this ability, and instead he doesn't even take a plane. He goes by his car, and who shows up? Miss Mead shows up next to the gas station and kills John Henry. I actually could not believe that she can kill a warlock. I mean, come on, she's just a normal human being. Of course, she's a psychopath and she's a killer, a serial killer. I don't know, she's like a like one of the characters of Texas Massacre Chainsaw, but she actually overpowered him, and he is a warlock, a very powerful one. He couldn't just swing his hand and throw hell through I don't know where. You know, I don't, even if she caught him by surprise, that scene does not make any sense. I can't believe that a normal human being killed a warlock that easy. Okay, but apparently maybe Miss Mead, has her own secrets. Even though she's like, I know she's apparently she was a spy and she has this fighting and compact skills. It doesn't make sense, anyways. In the next scene, we can see that Ariel, one of the warlock masters, he is the one who told Miss Mead about John Henry and go and kill him. But apparently, of course, Ariel does not know about Michael Truth, his true form, because Miss Mead tells him don't to Michael, like, don't speak about your father or something like that. But still, Ariel is a very bad warlock, I think, and because he wants just to dominate the witches, and he doesn't care how and if it's right or wrong. He just wants to get his way over the top, and that's it. And we can show that he's actually lacking some morals by killing John Henry. So I think he is really a bad guy, and I think he, at the end, he will be killed. That's for sure. Like in the next episode, maybe, or the after. Okay, and then we can see that, of course, the witches come back to the warlock school and to start the Seven Wonder test. Of course, easily Michael passes all the 6 tests, and we can see actually it's like a black and white monologue. Because it's very easy, it's like even funny. And the last test, which is requires him to go back to hell, and there's also here Cordelia tells him there is one new condition, is to bring Misty back. Misty, we remember her from The Coven, season 3, where she actually goes back. I think she does the tests, all of them. The 7th one is where she descends to hell and she never comes back. Ariel, at the beginning, he refuses because this is a new condition and that's not fair. However, Michael, he agrees to it. He's like, I'm gonna bring your friend back. So he goes back. He descends actually to hell, and we get to see that Misty Hell or Misty Nightmare is a repeating occurrence. Is a repeating I think school test where she has to dissect a living frog, and it keeps repeating, like a hole, like a loophole, and it's actually very gruesome, and Michael kills the teacher in a very gruesome and grim way, and he brings Misty back. Guess what, we were not surprised, of course, because he's Satan, so he went home. That's nothing for him. So we get to see that Misty comes back, and that was actually a very nice thing. And of course, Cordelia faints, and before she faints, she tells him that he will be the next Supreme for Michael. And after she wakes up, Misty tells Cordelia that, Michael, he doesn't seem like a good guy. Like, she senses evil from him, something like that. And she tells her that when he brought her back, he actually was talking to demons. Like, we got to see the things that he was talking to somebody, or at least listening. Cordelia tells her, yeah, he's actually trying to negotiate her way out of hell, And apparently Cordelia is into Michael somehow. I don't think she knows the truth about him, but she can sense that he is not who he says he is, or maybe he's not a warlock, and she feels that he's very powerful. And she says that she agreed that he takes all the tests so she can exactly know how powerful he is. And that's actually a very clever thing to do, and that he brought all of her witches back, all the 3 witches, Madison, Queenie, and Misty, so they all come together and fight Michael. That's apparently Cordelia's plan, or she's planning to do. After that, we can see the White Witch comes and she performs. That was a nice scene, but I didn't like that scene. It was unnecessary and, I don't know, very long. Like, two minutes. But I think that was kind of distraction because she wanted to talk to Madison, and distraction to the whole gang, even Michael. But I think Michael is onto her. I don't know. I feel that he sensed something. And Cordelia instructs Madison to go back to this location. And guess who's dropping an ear there? Shabbles comes and tells her that he heard everything, and he's actually not going to tell Michael about their plan because he's actually suspecting Michael. He has a bad thing. I think because, he told Ariel about John Henry, and John Henry never came back and never actually arrived to the witches, so something bad happened to him. Of course, he's not, I think he's that smart to figure that out. So yeah. So at the end, we get see that Madison and Shabbles are heading back to the murder house where everything actually started. It was the beginning of the end, let's say. Yeah, it was the beginning of the end. So I think that's what happened in episode 5, Boy Wonder. So some thoughts about this episode and the whole season. I have a feeling that season 8 will be the last season of American Horror Story. I actually wish it's not, because I really love this series. But apparently they are wrapping things up. Like there are many crossovers from other seasons, and they're trying to tell us that all the seasons somehow are connected to each other. Although like each season address different kind of theme, but it's all connected. Like when you connect the last season with the first season, it means something, when you connect this season Apocalypse to the murder house, it means that everything starts with the murder house, and they are like kind of wrapping things up, and so there is a chance that this season is the last one. And also for next episode, I don't know how much they will reveal. I think we're gonna see a lot of old characters. I'm really excited to see all of them actually, but I don't know how Madison and Shabbles will figure out the truth. Will the spirits be cooperative, as they say? Will they help them or not? I'm not sure. Maybe not all of them for sure, but I think some of them. Maybe Vivian or someone, like they will. Well, I think they will eventually. They know the truth. Okay, and also there's another thing that started to bother me, because still we are now in episode 5, right? We finished episode 5, so we still have 6, 7, and 8 is the last episode of this season, right? And we're still in the past. I mean, we didn't go back to our original timeline. We're still in the past. I don't know, like we spent episode 4, 5, and 6 apparently, so 3 episodes in the back, in the actually season 7, episode 7 will also be in the past, and maybe the last episode will go back to our timeline. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, they could just give 1 or 2 episodes max regarding the future. I don't know, I feel that 4 and 5, I think 4 and 5 and 6, maybe, yeah, they needed to tell the whole story, I think. But I think 4 and 5 and 6, I hope not 7, they could just make it, instead of 3, like 2 episodes. And what's up with actually, I think the episodes are kind of short, like this the last one is 40 minutes only. Should be, I don't know, 50 minutes, like 10 minutes will actually do wonders, as they say. So these are my final thoughts about this episode. I like this episode, however, like I'll give it 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite one, but it's kind of funny, It's kind of a nice one, to see. I like the coven, I like the witches. But we'll see what's gonna happen the next episode. So that's it for this time, and see you next time.